Good afternoon, families. Good afternoon, cadets. Thank you for attending this year's Hargrave Military Academy Leadership School graduation. Before we begin, I'd like to open us in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this week. Thank you for these young, bright leaders that you've given us and entrusted us with. We ask that you give us and them, impart your knowledge and guidance as they set forth to do their duties and to fill your path and your what you have in store for them. We ask this in your name. Amen. Gentlemen, it's been a long 5 days. Before we begin, I want to thank God for the opportunity to be your commandant, to train and mentor and lead such a great group of young men. It's a special place to a lot of guys, Hargrave is. Just the other day, I spoke to alumni, and one of them shared with me that Hargrave is not a fun place to be all the time, but it is a great place to be from. Keep that with you as you go forward. So again, I thank God for this opportunity, and I thank God for each one of you that's here and what you're going to bring to the Corps this year as leaders. Secondly, I have to thank you for your courage to volunteer, your determination this week, and what you will do this year as leaders. It's not easy to be a leader amongst your peers. So one of the hardest things to do as a leader is to tell your friend to change their behavior. And that's what we're going to expect from you this year. In just 1 week, we will have almost 100 brand new cadets that will step foot on Hargrave for the first time. The only thing that they will know is what you teach them. A few days after that, our returning cadets will return back to Hargrave and hopefully feel the change that's in the atmosphere, and that will again begin with you. You, our Corps' top leaders, will bear the burden of leadership, the burden of training your cadets to success. You will be the ones that set the example. You will be the ones who help them to overcome their challenges. Parents, families, and friends, thank you for your sacrifice in allowing your young men to be here today and to attend Hargrave. Certainly not an easy thing to do, to leave your most precious treasure here in the hands of us. But again, we appreciate your support, and we thank you for the love that you pour into your cadet and into Hargrave. And we also thank you for your opportunity in allowing us to work with your young man. Lastly, we all owe a great thanks to the Deputy Commandant and your TACs. These gentlemen have poured out their hearts, their time, their energy, and all of their efforts into you every day. They were here before you got up at 05, and they were here when you went to bed at lights out. They spent hours teaching classes, showing you how to drill, mentoring you one-on-one, and at the expense of spending time with their own children, their own families. They were here with you, their second family, their cadets. I think we owe them all a round of applause. This year will be full of many challenges. Many of these challenges the Corps has not faced in many years, maybe even in a generation. But our mission remains the same: to make leaders of character prepared for lifelong success. Prior to this year, and going back a number of years, cadets were not fully empowered. They weren't entrusted to lead. That a lot of times fell on the TACs. We're making a change this year. Cadets last year and the years before left with only a small taste of what it meant to be a leader, only a small understanding of what it really means and what is really required of being a leader. This year will be different. This year's leaders will be responsible for the day-to-day operations of both the Corps and responsible for everything that happens with those cadets under their charge. They will now leave Hargrave better equipped to lead wherever God calls them to next. I know that we will not have a year without mistakes or missteps. Those are sure to happen. But I am encouraged by these cadets. I'm encouraged by their resolve, and I know that they will accomplish their mission. So the last thing I'll leave you with is something that was at the beginning of what I started to say, and I hope it sticks with you. Hargrave is not always the best place to be at, but it is a great place to be from. At this time, I'd like to introduce First Sergeant Samuels, the Deputy Commandant, to speak to you a little bit about the training these young men went through this week.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to also thank the young men for the hard work and dedication throughout these last 5 days. I know it was tough, but you guys did it, and I'm very proud of you guys. So let's continue to work hard and improve Hargrave. Throughout these last 5 days, these guys have had a long day, getting up at 5 a.m., going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. But I want to do a quick overview of what the Leadership School was about. Leadership School is Hargrave's Military Academy main training for prospective leaders. The Leadership School is open to rising seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Cadets who successfully complete the rigorous but sometimes 5-day program will receive a formal commission at Hargrave as officers and non-commissioned officers. The officers and non-commissioned officers will then assume the ability to command cadets. These leaders do not have an easy job. The young men that they will lead will count on them to make right decisions when the going gets tough. Leadership School is designed to give young men a framework for their roles as unit leaders. They learn how to deal with mental and emotional stress, how to give orders, and sometimes have to discipline another cadet. By the end of Leadership School, they will have the ability to lead other young men. Their experience as leaders at Hargrave will also signify to others that they have the fortitude to lead in any situation, no matter the environment, no matter the stakes. The typical day for these young men was at 05 Reveille. 05:15 was physical fitness, which we call PT. At 8 to 9, they would go and eat breakfast, and then at 9 o'clock, they would be back at training again. Lunch would be from 12 to 12:50, and then again, these young men were out training and teaching each other. Dinner was at 1800, and after dinner, the young men were in the classrooms coming up with the officer mission for this year and the NCO creed. Their personal time would come between 21 and 2200. That time they would use to get their stuff prepared for the next day. At 2200 was lights out. And to me, that is a very long day. And I appreciate you young men for stepping up and carrying on. At this time, the mission statement will now be presented to the Commandant by the Battalion Commander and Cadet Andrew Ponton.
Sir, the Hargrave Military Academy 2021-2022 OCS mission statement reads, the officer class 2021-2022 will not only meet the standards, but exceed them, as we are the ones who will lay the stones for the Corps' successful future. In keeping with the core values of the Academy, and by following Christ's example of love and brotherhood, we will restore Hargrave's original vision to provide structure and leadership for all cadets, both new and returning.
We will now announce the 2021 Leadership School graduating class. Cadet Roger Adams. Cadet Bryce Atkins. Cadet Chittagong Anyawu. Cadet Joseph Hassan. Cadet William Butler. Cadet William Campion. Cadet Hajing Chen. Cadet John Clausen. Cadet Nathaniel Duff. Cadet Aiden Dykstra. Cadet Emmanuel Fleming. Cadet Andrew Francis. Cadet Luke Garcia. Cadet Kevin Hawkins. Cadet Malachi Jackson. Cadet Alex Johnson. Cadet James Lipscomb. Cadet Joseph Masiata. Cadet Spencer Mullen. Cadet Andrew Ponton. Cadet James Posey. Cadet Logan Rader. Cadet Christopher Rowe. Cadet Michael Rucker. Cadet Gabriel Schaefer. Cadet Michael Silas. Cadet Patrick Sosa. Cadet Davis Talley. Cadet Ethan Tellett. Cadet Charlie Wall. Cadet Aiden White. Cadet Chance Whitenet. Cadet Christopher Wood. Cadet Bohan Young. Cadet Alexander Zink. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2021 Leadership School graduating class.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm Cadet Major Alexander Zink, this year's battalion commander. Before I lead off the battalion staff and company positions, I'd like to take the time to address you guys, my brothers. I have nothing but respect for all of you who showed up this week. It not only shows initiative and the fact that you want to lead your peers, but it shows strength and courage. Many of you stepped into new positions, you learned, you asked questions, some of you made mistakes and corrected them. The things that you all expected from one another this week is what the peers who you will lead will expect from you throughout the year. And when myself and the senior class walk across that stage in May, it's going to be awesome. But I'm going to ask myself, was I a good battalion commander? And to answer that question, I will look to you all and your successes, because we will only succeed as a team. And if each and every one of us makes that individual choice to be the best in whatever given position we have, then the collective decision, the team decision, becomes nothing short of excellence. And to end this out, at the end of last year, I said this, and you'll probably hear me say this many times throughout the year. If you go about your life doing what is easy, your life will become difficult. But if you live in a way where you do what's difficult and you do what's uncomfortable and you do what's unpopular and you show courage, then your life will become progressively more easy. I'm counting on all of you, as I know you were counting on me. Anyway, starting off, I'll announce Alpha Company, Bravo Company, Charlie Company, Delta Company, Band Company, auxiliary staff, and then finally the battalion staff. Alpha Company, Commanding Officer, Cadet Luke Garcia. Alpha Company Executive Officer, Mason Rucker. Alpha Company First Sergeant, Joseph Asan. Alpha Company Platoon Leader, as you were, Platoon Sergeant, Spencer Mullen. Alpha Company Platoon, as you were, Squad Leader, Emmanuel Fleming. Please give a round of applause for Alpha Company. All right, next up, Bravo Company staff. Bravo Company Commanding Officer, Davis Talley. Bravo Company Executive Officer, Joseph Masiata. Bravo Company First Sergeant, Aiden Dykstra. Bravo Company Platoon Sergeant, Gabriel Schaefer. Please give a round of applause for Bravo Company. Next up is Charlie Company. Charlie Company Commanding Officer, James Lipscomb. Charlie Company Executive Officer, Nathaniel Duff. Charlie Company First Sergeant, Bryce Atkins. Charlie Company Platoon Sergeant, Roger Adams. Charlie Company Squad Leader, Charlie Wall. Please give a round of applause for Charlie Company. The Honorable Delta Company. Delta Company Commanding Officer, Michael Silas. Delta Company Executive Officer, Will Campion. Delta Company First Sergeant, Logan Rader. Delta Company Platoon Sergeant, Chittabum Anyawu. Please give a round of applause for Delta Company. Next up, Band Company. Band Company Commanding Officer, Chance Whiteneck. Band Company Executive Officer, Alex Johnson. Band Company First Sergeant, Sage Wood. Band Company Platoon Leader, Aiden White. Band Company Platoon Leader, Jonathan Posey. Band Company Platoon Sergeant, Patrick Souza. Band Company Platoon Sergeant, Malachi Jackson. Please give a round of applause for Band Company. Up next, Battalion Auxiliary Staff, Field Conductor Bohong Yang. Chapel NCO John Klassen. Infirmary NCO Chittabum Anyawu. And Military Police Officer Hengji Chen. Please, a round of applause for auxiliary staff. Finally, what we've been all waiting for, which is battalion staff for the 2021-22 academic year. I'll start with my right-hand man, my executive officer, Cadet Andrew Ponton. Battalion Command Sergeant Major, Andrew Francis. The Battalion S1, Kevin Hawkins. The Battalion S2, Christopher Rowe. The Battalion S3, William Butler. And the Battalion S4, which is Ethan Tellick. Please give a round of applause when they reach the stage for this year's battalion staff.